Hi, my name is Trampus Harmon. I'm the son part of Harmon and Son Beef here in Grants Pass, Oregon. I have a bachelor's degree in ag science from Oregon State University. And one of my customers asked me to make a video explaining some of the reasons for price increases in beef and why the overall price of even ground beef will be increasing. Um, I'm going to talk a lot about cattle, a lot about numbers. I took some notes here and I hope that I cover everything. I have a hard time not talking about cows because I've always really enjoyed it. So if I lose you at any point or you need more explanation on something, please let me know and I'll try and answer any questions in a follow-up video or in a follow-up Facebook post, Instagram, something of that nature. To get started right now, our cattle numbers are the lowest number in the United States that they have been since 1955. That's a 70-year difference. Um, One of the reasons for that low number in the feedlots is there's been droughts in Missouri, Texas, back in the Midwest, and so the USDA tracks all those numbers of cattle in the feedlots, and so they can tell how many cattle we have estimated in the United States. Um, and then one of the things that they look at is in those cattle is how many steers versus heifers are in those feedlots. Because when farmers, ranchers are retaining heifers, that's when they are building herds. When they are sending those heifers to feedlots, that's when they are selling because the price of beef is higher. Um, we also import a lot of beef into the United States. I believe 25 billion pounds. I could be mistaken on that number. I can get that number for sure, but we import a lot of beef into the United States. One of the places we import a lot of beef from is Mexico. Mexico has a recent outbreak of the New World screwworm. Um, and so we've had that outbreak before. We bred sterile male flies and released them down in areas like Texas, and then they mated with the females and they did not produce offspring, and so that's how we combated it in the past. And now we don't have the facilities making those to combat it currently. We are doing that, but so that has caused our imports to stop from Mexico right now. um, with the increase in um, price of beef, less and less ranchers are having to or are keeping their heifers for building their herds. Um, the production cost of farming has increased. I just did the last 3 years. It was easy to do the last 3 years real quick. Diesel is up 20 cents since 2024. In 2020, I know there was the pandemic, but at the same time, diesel was $2.72 a gallon. Currently, diesel's a little over $4 a gallon, national average. Um, Farms run on diesel. Farms do not run on gas. Farms run on diesel. Our tractors are diesel. Most of our trucks are diesel. All our delivery trucks are diesel. Everything from hay trucks, not personally, but there are grain trucks, there are fertilizer trucks. All those things are diesel powered. So a lot of farms run on diesel. Electric. Our electric bill, because we do irrigate our farm, is over $5,000 a month. My personal electric bill for my house is 300 and some change. It has increased, and my electric usage for my house has decreased. Same thing with my farm. My bill has increased. We've upgraded our pumps, we've fixed any leaks, we've done everything we possibly can to cause our costs to come down, and it has not affected our bottom line. We are more efficient, but our costs are still raising. Like our electric bill is outrageous. Feed. So one of the things that is constantly talked about is feed with cattle. Our cattle here on our farm at Harmon and Son Beef are all grass-fed, grass-finished. Unless we get a customer who asks for a fully grain-finished steer, then we will grain-finish some in the spring and so that will affect that. But here on the West Coast, even for farmers who do feed grain, there is no prevalence of corn raised here on the West Coast. And so, with no prevalence of corn, the low price of corn in the Midwest, that's how farmers back there, ranchers back there, are making margins with these high cost of corn. Prices in the Midwest are $3 a bushel. That's a historic low. That's how large feedlots are making a profit on these high dollar cattle. They're able to buy a 600-pound steer for $2,580 is the current market for these 600-pound steers. That's $4.30. We'll get into those numbers here in a little bit. But so they're able to put low inputs into those steers, and that's how they're able to make a profit in the Midwest. Out here in Oregon, we don't have access to the corn like that. Um, but one of the things we do have access to is hay. Our hay costs have increased. Again, trucking for that hay has increased. Um, so all those costs are still causing, are still rising. So some more increases that we have here on the farm: cutting and wrapping. When I have a steer or a cow, if I'm grinding it into hamburger, taken to the processor, the butcher, the USDA facility, the prices have increased. Their inputs have also increased. Everything from the plastic that they seal the burger in, all the way up to their hauling costs. All those things have increased the same way that my inputs have increased. So right now, I was talking about historic prices on these cattle because on these cattle. So right now, I'm talking about historic prices on these cattle. Um, in 2023, we track cattle by their hundredweight, is what it's called. So a 5.6 is 500 pounds to 600 pounds. It's actually to 599 pounds. We call them 5.6s. And then you have 6.7s, which is the same thing. It's 600 pounds to 700 pounds, 699, 7.8s. And so and I tried to use the most current data I could and compare apples to apples. So you have 7 September 23. I use Orland Livestock Auction. That's one of the closest large commercial auctions to us. In 2023, 5.6s were 294. In 2024, there's actually a small slump. 5.6s were 278. And then in 2025, 5.6s are 433. So 6.7s, that's where I would sell my cattle if I was selling my cattle commercial instead of farm to table. 6.7 cattle in 2023 were 277. As they get heavier, they get cheaper. Not totally, but the price goes down. So your 5.6s were 294, your 6.7s are 277. So 277 for a 700-pound calf, you're at 1662. In 2025, you're at $4.30, and so that's 25.80 for a 700-pound calf. That's a $918 increase from 2023 to 2025. We haven't increased our price on our cattle. When we sell them live, we have increased our price, but on our burger, on our stew meat, steaks, all of these products, we haven't increased our price. And so this is one of the things that is driving the price increase is our inputs are increasing, the value of our product is increasing. I did a post in July and I posted the price of 1 pound of Kroger ground beef from Fred Meyer, and that price was $7.99. Today, the price of that same 1 pound of ground beef, same UPC and everything, is $8.50. That's increased from July of 50 cents. The national average for ground beef is $7 a pound. I'm selling my bulk ground beef, which is grass fed, grass finished, no antibiotics, no hormones, and farm raised, farm to table, and I'm selling it at on our bulk price at $7 a pound, I am going to have to increase my price. And we're going to increase it $1. So um, that's just the realities of all of our inputs have increased. Even the price of the market has increased. When we first started going to the Grants Pass Growers Market, it was, I think, $20 or $25. I think it was $20 a week, and then it's gone up to 25, and now it's $30 a week to go to the Grants Pass Growers Market. I know it's a $10 increase, but every little bit has increased and has caused an increase in our inputs. And so that's what I'm trying to explain to people, is that I'm not getting rich off of um, raising cattle. I'm not. It's me and my father raising cattle. My father is 73 years old, 74. Um, and so we hire a kid in the summer to help out with irrigation. Other than that, my girlfriend's a full-time teacher. My mom is a full-time gardener. She gardens. That's like her love. Um, and so it's just me and my dad. We're we're out here doing the best we can, is what I'm trying to explain to people. And I just wanted to explain to people, hey, this is why our numbers are going up, and this is why our price has to increase.